We record for the national anthem. Ogun State anthem. Ìṣẹ́yá, ìṣẹ́yá, ọmọ Ògùn, ìṣẹ́yá, Elédùmarè, iṣẹ́ máa yá o. Ìṣẹ́yá, ẹ̀yin ọmọ Ògùn, ẹ ṣe gírí, iṣẹ́ pọ̀ fún wa láti ṣe. Ọmọ rere kì í sáṣẹ́, ọmọ Ògùn kì í ṣọ̀lẹ. Ẹ bẹ̀rẹ̀ gbẹ́rù o, Ọlọ́run ń bẹ fún wa, ẹ tẹra mọ́ṣẹ́ o. Ìṣẹ́yá, ọmọ Ògùn, ìṣẹ́yá. Let's have a seat, please. Oh, yeah, she. Opening prayer. Opening prayer. Dignitaries learning people. Oh, yeah. Muslim anymore. Muslim person.
We want to call on Town Planner Professor Agumbiade to please lead us in opening prayer. Town Planner Agumbiade, please. Opening prayer, please.
Can we make them shift forward? Maybe they can just leave the front seat. I don't even see any resources to come earlier. Let them shift forward. Let us pray. Our Lord and our God, we want to thank you for this opportunity to gather together for this special occasion. We want to commit everything we'll be doing today into their hands. We pray, oh Lord, that you take absolute and perfect control of everything. And at the end of everything, we shall have cause to bless and worship your name. In Jesus' wonderful name we have prayed.
A round of applause for the professor, please.
At the moment, we want to have on the high table her invited guests. Number one on the list, the special guest of honor, Engineer H.O.B. Lawal. Yet to come, we pray for safe arrival. The guest of honor, Architect Dr. Babatunde Adekoyejo, represented by Dr. Please. Please do pardon me, sir. Represented by Dr. Shojobi. Please, Dr. Shojobi, step forward, please. Put your hands together for him. Dr. Babatunde, architect Dr. Babatunde is the rector of Moshood Abiola Polytechnic, represented by Dr. Shojobi. A round of applause for him once again. You're welcome, sir. In line of that, we welcome the guest lecturer, Mr. Olaniyi Yusuf. Let's put our hands together for him. Mr. Olaniyi Yusuf. Still on his way. The National President, Nigeria Institute of Town Planner, represented Dr. Chime Ogbonna, represented by Town Planner Ayo Adediran. You are welcome. At the moment, we want to welcome the celebrant and the family with dancing to the podium. Let's put our hands together as we welcome the celebrant of today, Alhaji and Alhaja Waheed Kadiri. DJ, please.
Appreciation.
Let us rise up and welcome the celebrant. The assignment given, Alhaji sir, please, everybody will still be on our seats. You are going to dance here. Yes, just 2 seconds. Let's put our hands together for them, please. Okay, sir. We want to believe we have Mr. Olaniyi Yusuf. Yet to come. At this moment, let's welcome the chairman, Nigeria Institute of Town Planners, Ogun State Chapter, Town Planner Adefela Shogbeson, for his welcome address. The chairman, sir. Let's put our hands together for him as he steps forward.
DJ, please. Thank you. That is time for everything. I want to say good morning to everybody in the hall. Good morning, sir. Good morning, Mass. Please, before I give my welcome address, let me just quickly do this. Please, I would like to welcome to the high table the Honorable Commissioner for Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development. Yes, anytime you want to go, we will excuse you, sir. There is a seat here for you. Okay, you have told them that. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. So the welcome address of the chairman of Ogun State NITP. I want to thank God for today, that God has made today possible for each and every one of us. I want to appreciate all of us, especially have been able to arrive there safely from outside Abeokuta. I thank you so much for leaving your places of comfort and felicitate with us. Thank you so much. I want to start by welcoming the national president of Nigerian Institute of Town Planners, Town Planner Dr. Chime Ogbonna, represented by Town Planner Adedire, fellow of the Institute of our state, our chapter, and to the celebration of today. You are welcome, sir. You are highly welcome, sir. I will also want to welcome the guest lecturer. Yes, he arrived earlier, but they've gone to go and pick him up. We thought that he should not just be loafing around because he arrived very, very early. So, and they've gone to where he is. They will bring him. I want to also welcome him in absentia. Thank you for coming, sir. I want to welcome our guest of honor, the rector of Moshood Abiola Polytechnic, architect Dr. Koyi George Olaosho, ably represented by the director of academic planning. Thank you, sir. You are welcome, sir. You are welcome to our midst. I also want to welcome somebody that made today, well, it's God that made today a possibility, but at the same time, while we are celebrating the doing of our profession, and while we are also marking today happens to be his 74th birthday. God has really spared his life. But there is somebody that made that happen. Elijah, I want to specifically welcome you, man. And I want to congratulate you. You are the chief celebrant of today. Welcome, man. Welcome. Because it's because you gave our Agapis that he's able to do all that God has been helping him to do. And we're so proud of it. And that's why all of us are here today. To all our fellows, distinguished fellows, Vice should be mentioning all our names. I think I will be overspending my time, but the MC will do justice to that. And to everybody that is here, from Ogun State Chapter, Nigerian Institute of Town Planners, I want to welcome all of us. I say welcome, and I'm assuring you that you are going to enjoy the event of today, both the birthday celebration and of course the lecture series. Thank you so much. You are welcome, sirs. You are welcome, us. MC, can we have you here?
Thank you, Chairman. We want to welcome goodwill messages from all our invited guests as may be deemed fit. Please, Town Planner Ayeleso will move around. If we are here with our goodwill messages, let's spend down with him so that we can call us for the messages. We recognize the presence of Town Planner BC Adedire, Town Planner Ho-O, Oderide, Town Planner Olawande LOB, Mrs. Bamigboye Rashidat, Town Planner Ayo Adesoya, Town Planner Aziz Ibrahim, Mr. Ogundele Talabi, Town Planner D.O. Oladele, you are all welcome. The guest lecturer once again, Mr. Yusuf Olaniyi, yet to come.
Still on the recognition of our dignitaries here, we have in our midst Lion Ano Anyanwu, multiple council chairman, District 404 Lions Club International, #1 lion in Nigeria. A round of applause, please. I want to humbly welcome him to the high table here, sir. Of the guest, special guest of honor, Engineer H.O.B. Lawal. And while we do that, we want to implore us to wait for goodwill messages. And for the first we want to call is that's the arrival of the guest lecturer, Mr. Niyi Yusuf. You are welcome, sir. I can see the humility, and that's why we've been waiting for you. You are welcome into our midst. So I want to call on the national president, Town Planner Dr. Chime Ogbonna, ably represented by Town Planner Ayo Adediran, to please give his a goodwill message. A round of applause, please.
Good morning, everybody. I'm here in a representative capacity. When the national president called me and told me I would be representing him, and I asked whether you could do the investiture of making me the national president just for a few minutes. And he transferred all the powers to me to act in that capacity and on his behalf. So I'm not on my own, just to let you know. I'm covered by the powers and the authorities of that office. And I pledge that I will not misuse it. The protocol. I want to acknowledge the chairman of the Institute, Nigeria Institute of Town Planners, and the organizers, Ogun State chapter. The guest lecturer, sir, we've been looking forward since all these days, Mr. Olaniyi Yusuf, and it's very, very exciting having you in our midst because the economic situation demands that we hear from you. Thank you very much. And we also say the national president want to acknowledge the man of the day and his beautiful wife, our own man, the celebrant, town planner Waheed Kadiri, fellow of Nigeria Institute of Town Planners, past president Nigeria Institute of Town Planners, and past president African Planning Association. I know there are also some other. We are happy to also see today. It's a special day. We've all marked it in our diary. All other dignitaries, which time will not permit me to iterate and mention, you are all recognized. And the national president has sent his congratulations to you, sir, your family, and all the well-wishers. He has also given me the authority to also appreciate the organizers of this event, which is the 11th in the series of Waheed Kadiri lectures. Some of us have been privileged to have attended many of them, and we have been really blessed. And he has also asked me to also apologize that giving me this power is not to take you for granted, that is presently overwhelmed with the assignment of his office and is giving this lecture series the attention that it demands. So, having said that, we also want to comment on the topic of this lecture, Global Trends, Reimagining Cities for Sustainable Development and Shared Prosperity, of which we will hear from the guest lecturer. And I think we have chosen the right person to talk to us, because we have to relate sustainable development to the prosperity of nations, of which Nigeria and indeed the Institute of Town Planners are part. And the choice of the topic itself is well appreciated. Well appreciated that because the whole world is going through a kind of rapid changes. Apart from what the COVID-19 and all the other issues of our own Nigerian take into cognizance. So this topic, which will make us focus on reimagining cities for sustainable development and shared prosperity, is very, very apt and very, very necessary for us to learn. Hitherto, this platform had served as a source of knowledge globally across the board because we cannot talk of planning without also touching all other sectors of development, be it economy, transportation, housing, mention it. So this series has become a fountain of knowledge and also a source of our own professional development program. So I will urge all of us participants on behalf of the national president to please pay attention, listen attentively, and also let us take home essential part of this lecture, which will help us to develop further methods of planning for sustainable development and also even prosperity, which is now global. We live in a global world. In fact, Nigerians are even more concerned than America because of the Trump presidency, whereas we have our own challenge here. So on this note, the national president saying thank you to the organizers and congratulating our own Oga and the wife, the family, for another year of also sharing with you this moment, and also wishing you a very, very happy and prosperous happy birthday to you, sir. And to all the guests present, we want to say thank you on behalf of the national president. And we commend the lecture to you and wish all of us fruitful deliberation. Thank you very much.
Once again, a round of applause to the national president, town planner Dr. Chime Ogbonna, fellow of the institute. While we are waiting for the president of Atopcon to give that is town planner BC Kadiri, to give his goodwill message from Atopcon, we want to recognize the presence of town planner Mrs. Bello Risikat, the pioneer chairman, national chairman of Association of Women in Town Planning. You are welcome. Also, we welcome town planner Dele Akindele, the chairman of Lagos State Chapter, NITP. You are welcome, sir. We cannot but welcome town planner Professor Odufua, the Provost College of Engineering and Environmental Studies, OOU. I see in our midst my Ogas, town planner Professor Wale Alade from Unilag. You are welcome, sir. Also, our father, town planner Professor Leke Oduwaye. You are welcome into our midst, sir. Well, resting on that, I want to call on the Atopcon president, town planner BC Adedire, to give his goodwill message. A round of applause, please.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Let me start by congratulating the doyens of our profession, Alhaji Waheed Kadiri, for today's lecture series. I want to sincerely appreciate and thank God on your behalf, and I also wish you a happy birthday, sir. I wish you long life, in good health, and abundant blessings in Jesus' name. I also want to sincerely appreciate the effort of the organizing committee, most especially the chairman of NITP, Tamplana Defela Esugbeson, FNITP, and the organizing committee, chairman Tamplana Oladunjoye Arowo Segbe, FNITP, for coming up with this today's lecture series. And I want to sincerely thank each and every one of us for making it a date for today's lecture. I pray that God in his infinite mercies will continue to guide us and lead us aright in all our dealings. Today will not be the last one, and we'll be able to witness more of it in Jesus' name. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. While we are waiting for the goodwill message from the rector of Mapoli, Architect Jola Osho, as represented here, we want to recognize the presence of our father in the profession, town planner, Professor Oyeshiku Kayode. You are welcome, sir. You are welcome into our midst, sir. We as well I want to humbly call on the special guest of honor, Engineer H.O.B. Lawal, to please come to the podium here. A round of applause, please. You are welcome, sir. You are welcome, sir. Now, goodwill message from Architect Jola Osho, the rector of Mapoli. You are welcome, sir. Ably represented by Dr. Shojobi. A round of applause, please.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. The chairman, executive committee, are members of Ogun National Institute of Town Planners, our chief lecturer, the national president, ably represented, Alhaji Waheed Kadiri, and their amiable wife. We will continue to appreciate you, sir. That's what the rector said I should tell you. For your legacies in the Polytechnic, you have continued to remain our pride and our ambassador, and that's why we'll continue to support every activity of yours. Thank you for projecting the Polytechnic in good light. Ladies and gentlemen, on getting here and looking at the faces around, I discovered that over 70% of faces here were also at the December event, specially organized for town planner Waheed Kadiri. This tells me something. It only shows how much the Institute values Alhaji Waheed Kadiri. Thank you, sir. And seeing some of the faces then, Professor Agumbiade, where is Prof? Thank you so much for coming around again. Just last December, you were in Abeokuta. Professor Yushuku, you are most welcome, sir. You are a good friend of the Polytechnic. I recall that when we had sent forth for our former rector, Architect Tokumba Fowode, you were there, one of those who made the event colorful. Thank you, sir, for associating with the Polytechnic. I'm Dr. Olaiwola Shojobi, the Director of Academic Planning. I'm representing our rector, Architect Dr. Koyejo Jola Osho, who Alhaji Kadiri knows very well, and the fellows of this institute, that he would have loved to be personally here. This is the kind of event he would have loved to be personally present. But for another exigency, he's outside of Abeokuta. And to show his love for Alhaji Kadiri and the institute, he was the one this morning that called me and said, Shojobi, I hope you have not forgotten today's event. And I said, never. I'm already preparing. That shows how the Polytechnic takes Alhaji Waheed Kadiri. We always make sure we support any events in his name. So, it is my pleasure to deliver the address of our rector. Distinguished guests, esteemed members of the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners, respected professionals, students, and well-wishers. It is with immense joy and deep sense of honor that I stand before you today as the guest of honor of this prestigious 11th waheed Kadiri lecture series. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to the Ogun State chapter of the Institute for this kind invitation and for their commitment to advancing urban planning discourse in our dear state and beyond. This lecture series is not just another gathering of professionals. It is a celebration of a legacy, a tribute to a man whose name is synonymous with excellence in campus, town, and urban planning, education, administration, and national building. Town planner Waheed Kadiri, my mentor, as well as to many, and a visionary leader, has left indelible marks on the landscape of urban development in Nigeria. His contributions as a planner, educator, and administrator continue to inspire us all. It is only fitting that we gather here today to honor his legacy by engaging in meaningful discussions that shape the future of our cities and communities. The title of this year's lecture, Global Trends, Reimagining Cities for Sustainable Development and Shared Prosperity, could not have been more relevant at this time. Around the world, cities are at the heart of economic growth, social transformation, and environmental sustainability. However, they all face pressing challenges such as climate change, population growth, infrastructure deficits, and socio-economic inequalities. Reimagining cities for sustainability and shared prosperity requires us to rethink urban planning in ways that embrace innovation, inclusivity, and resilience. It calls for bold leadership, smart policies, and the integration of technology in shaping the cities of tomorrow. This is particularly important for Ogun State, a rapidly growing economic hub that must strike a balance between industrial expansion, environmental preservation, and improved quality of life of its residents. As cities expand, populations grow, and technology reshapes our way of life, the role of town, urban, or city planners has never been more critical. We are the architects and planners of our collective future, ensuring that our communities are not only well organized, but they are also resilient, inclusive, and sustainable. To do justice to this important theme, we are privileged to have as our guest lecturer today a man whose expertise and insights will no doubt enrich our understanding of this critical subject. Town planner Olani Yusuf is an outstanding thoughtful leader in business strategy, technology, and innovation. With a wealth of experience in driving transformation across various sectors, he brings a unique perspective to the intersection of urban planning, technology, and economic development. Town planner Yusuf has spent years at the forefront of guiding businesses and governments towards sustainable solutions that not only drive growth, but also ensure prosperity is shared across all levels of society. His dedication to the advancement of technology-driven urban solutions makes him the perfect choice to deliver this lecture. Sir, we are truly honored to have you here with us today, and we eagerly await your insights. The chairman, sir, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, beyond today's discussions, the rector urges us, all stakeholders, government officials, private sector players, academia, and professional bodies to take decisive steps in translating these insights into policies and actions. We must ensure that urban planning is not just about constructing buildings and roads, but about building communities that foster economic opportunities, environmental sustainability, and social equality. Once again, architect Dr. Jola Osho commends the organizers for putting together this event and extends his deepest appreciation to all of you for your commitment to shaping the future of our cities. Let us make the most of today's lecture, engage actively, and work together to build a better tomorrow. Thank you, and I wish you all a productive and enlightening session. That is the message of the rector to us. Thank you.
A round of applause again for the rector of Mapoli, architect Jola Osho Babatunde. Well, forgive me, sir, for not doing this before now. It's just an oversight. I have but to recognize the presence of my own father and father to all, town planner Taiwo Megbokwe, a retired permanent secretary in the state. You are welcome, sir. He's also a fellow of the institute. Glad to see you, sir. I as well want to recognize the presence of an erudite professor in our midst, Professor Sherifuddin Taylor. You are welcome, sir. Well, it gladdens my heart to tell you that this is indeed an ITP program. For us to have 3 consecutive presidents in a row in our midst. Of course, we've heard the voice of the incumbent president of NITP, Town Planner Dr. Chime Ogbonna, and to my greatest surprise, we have in our midst the immediate past president of NITP, Town Planner Nathaniel Atebije in our midst. You are welcome, sir. You are welcome, sir. And seated beside him is immediate past president of the institute, Town Planner Toyin Ahinde. A round of applause. Welcome, sir. Glad to have you in our midst. We know your being in our midst is a real encouragement to us. 3 presidents. Wow. That's very good. And that's because Alhaji himself, the celebrant of the day, is a past president of the institute. I wish one day I could be one of them. I know say no be joke anyway, but I'm building it. A round of applause to them once again. So a goodwill message from the special guest of honor, and thereafter, that is Engineer H.O.B. Lawal, and thereafter we'll listen to goodwill message from the lion himself, Lion Ano Anyanwu. So round of applause for the special guest of honor right now, Engineer Lawal, sir. A round of applause. Yes.
Permit me to run through the protocol a little bit before we move ahead. I looked at the invite. I couldn't find the name of any chairperson. So I guess this garden at this moment has no chairperson. So the first person that will come on my protocol list, therefore, will be the guest of honor himself, Town Planner Kadiri, whom we're honoring today. Sorry. So the first person on my protocol list now will be Town Planner Kadiri, whom we are honoring today. And of course, is ably supported by his beautiful wife, Alhaja Kadiri. Let me also recognize the leaders of the profession, and of course, that are here on the head table. Rector of the Polytechnic, chairman of the branch of Nigeria Institute of Town Planners, and of course, the council chairperson of Lions Multiple District 404, Nigeria. I must say that I'm here at the behest of Town Planner Waheed Kadiri, in whom I have tremendous regards. Town Planner Kadiri whom we are honoring today, has been a close friend and associate for more than 30 years. Now, Alhaji Kadiri may have forgotten this, but I may say this much, that Alhaji Kadiri and I have come a long way. Our relationship started in the 80s at the instance of an elder, a common friend, late Par District Governor, Akintaye Balogun. I think I went to PDJ Balogun to ask for a favor about the admission of a junior cousin into, I think then it was Ogun State Polytechnic, not Moshood Abiola, I think so. Actor Balogun simply said, okay, go and meet Alhaji Kadiri in Abeokuta. Your problem will be solved. So I took a trip down. Of course, my Lions prefix made me have an accelerated attention from him. I relayed to him what my problem was and what I wanted him to do. He looked at all the papers I brought in and he said, okay, these guys' prerequisites were not complete. Sir, I will advise that you advise him to go and have a retake of his GCA papers. So the guy, he did the advice and went. The following year, he got admitted into that same polytechnic. Now, the point I want to stress here is this. Here is a fellow Lion and a very good professional at the end of an institution. Now, Akintaye Balogun, who asked me to come and meet him, probably thought the prerequisites of my cousin were complete, and was sure that I would get the needed attention from Tamplana Kadiri. Now, he didn't do that, and rather he offered us an advice. The point I want to make from this is simple. Alhaji Kadiri did not allow the Nigerian factor to influence the ethos of the profession, the ethos of educational practice, and even the fine ethos of the cherished Lions clubs. And from that moment, he became somebody who has been after my heart. He didn't know that at that time, I left him with very good impression. The impression of Mr. Integrity, the impression of Mr. Credibility. And I want to thank him very much for making my cousin to see the better life of life. He went back, and of course, he passed through the same polytechnic and is today one of the chartered accountants in Nigeria. He's been very successful on his job. Next, let me also say this much about him. I'm aware that this lecture is another one in the series of Town Planner Waheed Kadiri's lecture, fashioned after his name to appreciate his pioneering efforts in town planning, and of course in making sure that a body like this came to life. That he was able to do that at that time. I'm sure he never dreamt that the association that he was trying to build would one day remember him for good. So, and I'm also happy that the topic of today's lecture is very apt to our national development. I think it's tagged Global Forces and Sustainable sustainable efforts, and re-imaging cities for shared prosperity. I want to thank the guest speaker in advance for his ability to do justice to this topic. I also want to thankfully congratulate Alhaji Kadiri and all the members of the Nigeria Institute of Town Planners for deeming it fit to honor one of their own, not just for the first time, but for the 11th time, this being the 11th in that series. Now, there is this saying by our elders that a river that does not forget its source will always flourish. I want to commend your efforts, and I pray that the God Almighty, by His grace, will make all town planners flourish in whatever they set their hands upon. I say amen to that. Today is 19th day of February 2025. I did not even know that it's Town Planner Waheed's Kadiri's birthday until I started reading messages on our shared platform about his birthday today. But I have something very significant about the 19th of February. My late dad, who used to be a DO in the colonial days, died before I turned 5. And all efforts to look or to get my birth certificate proved abortive. Then my uncle tried as much as he could. He remembered anyway that I was born on the 21st of February. So using perpetual calendar, 21st of February was a Tuesday in that year. My illiterate mother insisted your dad did not go to work on that day. It was a Sunday. So using the same perpetual calendar, the nearest Sunday to that was 19th of February. So officially, my birthday is 21st of February. But in general terms, when celebrating my birthday, it starts from the 19th. And I consider it a great honor, in fact, two folds, to share this day with Alhaji Kadiri, and of course to be part of this ceremony, which of course is also marking the commencement of my own celebration. I feel very happy about that I'm sharing this day with our good friend, Mr. Credibility and Mr. Integrity. Alhaji Kadiri, I wish you many more years of service to our nation, many more years of service to the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners, and of course to you all, town planners who are gathered here today and thought it necessary to honor him this way. Long life with all the wherewithal of graceful aging will always be your portion. Again, I say amen. Finally, I must conclude this short message by wishing all of us laudable successes in all that we are able to set our hands upon. Not only the town planners, those of us who are town planners, but associates of town planners will also benefit from this prayer. So on that note, I want to congratulate Alhaji Kadiri again, and of course his beautiful wife, for having this day. And I also want to thankfully congratulate the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners for making this day happen. May the good Lord continue to bless you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The special guest of honor, Engineer H.O.B. Lawal. Well, it's evident that an engineer can as well be an orator. I love that, sir. Keep it up, sir. Thank you so much. I want to acknowledge the presence of Dr. Abiola Tonode, the past president of APBN. You are welcome in Amisa. And also Architect Wale Salako, Secretary, Nigerian Institute of Architects, Ogun State Chapter. You are welcome in our midst, sir. We have in our midst as well Town Planner Stephen Adewolu, a former Permanent Secretary and a former Special Advisor to the Ogun State Governor, a fellow of the Institute in our midst. You are welcome, sir. I as well want to acknowledge the presence of Dr. Ambassador Ibrahim Jide Bello, the District Governor, Lions District 404, or B3 of Nigeria, with his second Vice District Governor, Barrister Tosin Taiwo. You are all welcome into our midst. Now we want to hear the roaring of the lion. And so I want to call on, with fear, call on Lion Ano Anyahu to give the goodwill message. You are welcome, sir. A round of applause, please.
Lions in Nigeria to follow you and honor our own past district governor. Today is the 11th of the annual lecture series in his honor. So that means that for the past 11 years, every year, the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners Ogun State have honored him for the wonderful work he has done in the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners. I'm also here to confirm to you that Alhaji Waheed Kadiri, the same way he has done wonderful work in the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners, have also done wonderful work in the Lions Clubs International, Multiple District 404 Nigeria. He's a past district governor. Today he's also a trustee of the Nigerian Lions Club Charity Foundation. And he's also the chairperson of the Nigerian Lions Club Charity Foundation, which is the charity arm of Lions Multiple District 404 Nigeria. I've not been in a town planning workshop before, but I'm happy to be here. And to town planners, I want to say to you, you have the theories and the policies that you have generated. Please find a way of getting the ears of those in government so that your policies and theories and plans can lead to fruition. The second thing I want to ask you to do is, while you are planning the development of towns, please also plan the development of villages. Those of us who come from villages are worried about the uneconomic use that we are putting the land resources in our villages to. The way we are developing, if care is not taken, the earth environment that God has given us in Nigeria will come to waste. So on behalf of the Lions of Multiple District 404 Nigeria, I want to give our heartfelt goodwill and felicitations to Alhaji Waheed Kadiri and to wish him a very happy birthday. And I wish all of us a very wonderful lecture in his honor, and we look forward to drinking from the fountain of the lecturer's fountain of knowledge. Thank you very much.
Well, that's the roaring. Thank you, DJ. That's the roaring of the first of the number one lion in the country. And you can imagine if we have 4,000 lions here, I am sure we will not be able to stay here. Thank you so much, sir. I want to now call on the Honorable Commissioner for Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development in Ogun State, Town Planner Tunji Olushoga Odunlami, Fellow of the Institute for his goodwill message. A round of applause, please.
Good morning, all. Well, much that is against my will to speak, either with the connivance or pressure from the honoree of today, Tampana Ilesho has forced me to come and speak. Today is really a day for us to come and listen to lecture. So if care is not taken, with the caliber of people here, virtually everybody will need to speak in honor of Alhaji Waheed Kadiri. But I think most of us are here to listen to the lecture from Olani Yusuf Esquire. So I adopt all recognitions already established. For Alhaji Kadiri, there's really nothing more to add. So much has been spoken about him today. If I need to say anything more than those, it will be an overkill. But suffice to say that Alhaji Kadiri is someone that we all respect, that we all sometimes stand in awe of him because of his pedigree, his achievements, and what it means to so many of us. Well, because, like I said, we need to just go straight into the lecture because I know the lecturer probably is eager to deliver his lecture. I know he will be a very busy man and he wants to go back to his job. I will just congratulate Alhaji Waheed Kadiri and Alhaja Waheed Kadiri for being privileged to see yet another celebration of the Waheed Kadiri lecture series. Both of you are looking radiant, you are looking healthy. All we can ask God to do is to continue to sustain you, to continue to give you good health, sound mind, that you see the 28th series, you see the 38th series, and possibly see the 48th series if, like they say, Jesus tarry in his second coming. So congratulations, Alhaji and Alhaja, and I wish you very, what do you say, happy birthday, long life, in prosperity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Good to hear from you. To bring the round of goodwill to an end so that we can continue with the program and the purpose of our being here today, I want to call on the representative of the League of Past Presidents of the Nigeria Institute of Town Planners. But well, as the master of ceremony, I want to call, let me say the youngest of them, but no, not in age, but the most recent of them that just joined the league. So may I call on my Oga? I know he won't do anything for me today. He cannot deregister me. May I call on my Oga, the immediate past president of Nigerian Institute of Town Planners, Town Planner Nathaniel Atebije, for the goodwill message from the League of Past Presidents. While he's coming, I want to recognize the presence of our people from your state chapter and even Dr. Mrs. Azizat Jola Osho. You are welcome. A round of applause for. He looks so gentle, but he's a tough man. We all know that.
Let me stand on the already established protocols to appreciate all of you for being here. And that I'm here, I'm only strong because The past presidents are here. My own immediate past president is here. And because of his humility, actually he became my driver to this place this morning. So you know what that means. To God be the glory. When somebody called me this morning and he wanted me to attend to him, I said, sorry, I cannot attend to you today. So why? I say, I am going on a pilgrimage. This is a pilgrimage. I say it's a pilgrimage for refreshment and for information and capacity building. And so I want to believe that as the Lord tarries, as long as we have good health, this pilgrimage will continue and many people will derive benefits from it. When we want to talk about our past president, who is our celebrant today, it's just like the blind man that went and touched elephant. Even if there are 30 blind men, they will see so many different things at the same time. And so we can never exhaust the qualities of this young man. Allow me to say that he is a young man. Because the energy in him is more than the age he professes. This is a man that I can call 12 midnight and he will answer me. At any point in time you call him, you want his opinion on a matter, you will get his valid opinion. And it doesn't matter whose ox is God. He wants to stand by the truth at any point in time. So, to say that he's a man of integrity is still an understatement. Beyond integrity, the transparency, the hard work, the truthfulness, and everything that makes a man to be in the likeness of God and the similitude of truthfulness, they are all found in him. Sir, God will keep you for us and will continue to learn from you. On behalf of the past presidents of the Institute, we thank you. God bless you.
More round of applause for our past president. Thank you so much, sir. At the moment, we want to read the recitation of our able, dynamic, hardworking, truthful, full of integrity, dear father, Town Planner Waheed Kadiri, the fellow of the Institute. As we call on Town Planner Mrs. Adenekon to take up the responsibility. Let's put our hands together for him, please.
The celebrants, Alaji and Alaja, of course, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Citation of Town Planner Waheed Kadiri. Town Planner Waheed Kadiri was born 74 years ago at Aton Ota, in the present Ado Odota local government area of Ogun State. He had his tertiary and professional education at the Polytechnic Ibadan between 1969 and 1972 and graduated with a distinction. He went further to Glasgow School of Arts, Glasgow, Scotland, from 1974 to 1977 and graduated with a second-class upper. From there, he proceeded to Olabisi Onabanjo University, Agogwe, 1992 to 1995. He graduated as the best student in each of these institutions. He is also a recipient of various awards from within and outside the profession of town planning. He is a member of the following professional bodies: fellow Nigerian Institute of Town Planners, a registered town planner with the Town Planner Registration Council of Nigeria, member Nigerian Institute of Management, member Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport. For his career spans the civil service, consultancy, and academics. He spent the longest time in Moshood Abiola Polytechnic, Abeokuta, where he rose from a lecturer 1 to chief lecturer, with the privilege of being the rector for 8 years. He has edited 5 books, published 30 articles in peer-reviewed journals, and about 25 books chapters, 40 conference papers, presented at local, national, and international forums. He had also delivered over 40 lectures as interviewed lecturer and speaker in Nigeria, South Africa, Ghana, Benin Republic, Netherlands, Portugal, Italy, and United States of America. He is the principal partner of Kadiri Associates Limited, CAL, a consulting firm in urban and regional planning and transportation planning and planning advocacy. CAL is a reputed foremost campus planning outfit in Nigeria, with clients spanning federal, state, and private universities. He has been involved in the preparation and review of master plans for various institutions, amongst which are Adekunle Ajasin University, Akungba Akoko, Ondo State. Okay. Awards. He received awards. Awards received includes the following: Federal Government Scholarship, Royal Town Planning Institute Award for Best Graduating Students, Meritorious Service Award, Appreciation Award for Active Past President NITP, Merit Award NITP Ogun State and Lagos State Chapter, Distinguished Service Award, Department of Urban and Regional Planning, University of Lagos, and many others. He manages, along with some other colleagues, an NGO, Center for Environmental Studies and Design Limited, GTE, which focuses on advocacy, proper planning, suitable development, and training of professionals transiting from planning schools into the industry. Leadership positions. He was the chairman, African Planning Association, a body of professional planning association across Africa, National President, Association of Town Planning Consultants of Nigeria, APTOCON, Chairman, Ogun State Chapter, Association of Professional Body in Nigeria, APBN, Chairman, Ogun State. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. He is happily married with 4 children and 6 grandchildren. Of course, he said I should round it up.
While he step aside, I present to you the celebrant of today, Town Planner Waheed Kadiri, Fellow of the Institute, past President of Nigeria Institute of Town Planners. Yes, thank you, thank you. That's Alaji for you. That's Alaji for you. Well, I want to call on Town Planner Mrs. Abiola Adewale to give the citation of the Mr. Town Planner. you know the director of my police, so magnanimous to confound to confound or the guest lecturer today the title of Town Planner without going to school. I hope town planners in the house will approve that. well, before that is taken, I want to recognize the presence of Professor Bamidele Badejo, a fellow of the Institute. You are welcome, sir. Thank you, sir. You are welcome, sir. So I want to call on the lecturer to please step forward while Town Planner Mrs. Abiola Adewale takes the citation.
Thank you. For us to go into the lecture as early as possible, we are just going to go into few about the lecturer. Mr. Olani Yusuf, born April 1st, 1970, hails from Oyo State, born into the family of late Pa Yusuf and Mama Yusuf. He has a memory in Ibadan and Oyo. His childhood memory in Ibadan and Oyo. His late father is from Oyo, while his mom is from Ibadan. He lost his dad at age 5, leaving him and mom and 3 younger siblings. He graduated from University of Ile-Ife at age 20 in computer science. He grew up understanding the value of hard work, patience, determination, and place of faith in God with lots of prayer. He acquired diverse academic status in and out of the country. He has published many articles in area of IT. A fellow of Project Management Institute, fellow Nigerian Computer Society, fellow Nigerian Institute of Management, to mention but a few. Let's put a round of applause for our lecturer. He worked as a former managing director at Session Nigeria. He secured his future in technology. After 24 years at Accession, he left in 2019 to start Veraki Partners, where he is currently the managing and the partner. Ladies and gentlemen, join me as I welcome to the podium a multi-skilled business strategist in person of Mr. Olani Yusuf.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for the opportunity. Let me thank the president of the Institute and all the past presidents, the district governor, Lions International, and the over 4,000 Lion members, Honorable Commissioner, the special guest of honor, Engineer Lawal, and of course the rector, Mapoli, ably represented. It's indeed a great honor and privilege to stand before a gathering of such accomplished individuals, professionals and town planners, as a guest lecturer of the 11th edition of the Waheed Kadiri Lecture Series, organized by the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners Ogun State Chapter. I thank the chairman of the state chapter, Town Planner Shogweson, and his executive team, and indeed all members of the state chapter for inviting me. But more importantly, I'd like to thank them for upholding the tradition in honor of Town Planner Waheed Kadiri, not only for his relentless contributions to the progress of physical planning profession in Nigeria, as was stated in the invitation letter that I received, but I dare add also for his immense contributions to humanity, as we've seen in his work at the Polytechnic, at Lions International, and also at NASFA Society, where I was the president for some years. I've had the privilege of knowing engineer Dr. Kadiri for about 2 decades, and so I can attest to the fine character and gentle person that he is. But let me also specially thank the organizing committee led by Tamplana Olatunjo Yaro Shegbe for their patience with me, and immense patience, I must say, with me. Today being the birthday of Dr. Kadiri, let me join others by wishing you happy birthday, sir. It says a lot about you, your contributions, and your character for the chapter to choose to consistently recognize you. Indeed, it is telling that your friends, professional colleagues, both in the institute and also across other professions, have dedicated this day to celebrate you. I join them to wish you many more happy, healthy, beneficial, and fulfilling years. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most merciful and the exceedingly merciful, continue to shower you with his endless mercies. Amen. Today we find ourselves at an extraordinary crossroad in history as we are faced with the rapid changes in ICT and also with increased digitalization. This unprecedented advancement in technology has led to the temptation for us to splash concrete everywhere, to automate all our processes, and to digitalize all our services. Sometimes we even use robots and AI agents in the process of automation, all in the pursuit of modernization, economic growth, and what some have termed soft life. Cities, the vibrant epicenters of human activities, and the beating heart of civilization are undergoing precedented transformation fueled by powerful global trends. These forces, ranging from rapid technology advancement to climate change and to shifting societal dynamics, offer immense opportunities for growth and also for innovation. Yet, they also amplify the challenges we face, demanding that we all evolve as town planners. You're already well acquainted with the complexities of managing rapid urbanization, addressing infrastructural deficits, be it in road, housing, water, telecoms, etc., and also in terms of promoting sustainability. However, some of the global trends that I will talk about go far beyond these immediate concerns, and I think they will redefine the very essence of urban living, challenging you to imagine your roles, to embrace innovative tools, and to adopt forward-thinking approaches towards town planning. As we navigate these transformative times, remember that your work as town planner is pivotal not only to the cities of today, but to the generations that will inhabit them tomorrow. You must have a strong sense of accountability to preserve our heritage while embracing the infinite possibilities of the future, by creating resilient, inclusive, and visionary urban landscapes. Hence, the rationale for the topic of my speech, global trends, reimagining cities for sustainable development and shared prosperity. I know I would disappoint the representative of the national president that I'm not talking about the economy. But I think when we talk shared prosperity, the economy will benefit from that. So let me talk about the SDG. We know we all have 17 goals that were adopted in 2015 by the United Nations to transform the world. And those 17 goals do have significant implications for town planning. Goal 1 is about ending poverty. And the World Bank estimates that about 129 million Nigerians lived in poverty in 2024, and that 63% of us are multidimensionally poor. So this presents an opportunity for town planners to help by designing cities that will provide better access to essential services like healthcare, education, public transportation, water sanitation, and green spaces, which can significantly improve the quality of life for marginalized communities and to create a more even and equitable distribution of resources across urban areas. So 2 is a zero hunger. Nigeria today suffer from food insecurity. There are 3 million people estimated today as facing of food in 2025. Tackling in this context must therefore enable agriculture, transport corridors, processing zones, and industrial areas by strategically designing urban spaces to promote sustainable food production, improving access to food markets and supply cities, and facilitating efficient food distribution networks, even as we think about city planning. City planning must also encourage community-based initiatives for growing food within urban areas, ultimately enhancing food security for residents. Goal 3 is about good health and well-being. Today in Nigeria, only 20 million of us have access to the health insurance scheme, and life expectancy is low as 62 years. So there's work for us to do as town planners. And town planning and urban renewal must prioritize people's health and well-being by designing urban environments to facilitate access to healthcare facilities, to promote active transportation like walking, like cycling, and to provide green spaces for recreation. We also must plan affordable housing with adequate ventilation and natural lights that will encourage social interaction and community building. Goal 4 is about quality education. And today, Nigeria has more than 10 million children out of schools. And we also have adult literacy at only 63% compared to 97% in China. And so within this context, town planning must provide inclusive spaces for educational facilities and also must encourage easy access to educational facilities and also encouraging students of town planning to do field visits to diverse habitats in both urban and rural environments. And so I'm glad that in the abridged citation of Dr. Kadiri was reference to his work in planning campuses for universities, including that of Fountain University Osogbo, owned by NASFAT. Goal 5 speaks to gender equality, to end gender discrimination, to empower women and girls, to ensure females have equal opportunities in the workplace. Town planning can help by designing public spaces that are safe and accessible for women and girls, by considering their specific needs, but also by integrating gender-specific infrastructure like lighting and public toilets, ensuring proximity to essential services like healthcare, education, markets, public transportation, and also by actively engaging women and getting their views when we are doing city planning. Furthermore, town planners can help by implementing zoning regulations that promote mixed-use development to facilitate women's access to work and also their access to markets and public spaces. Lastly, town planner must look at how we can address issues related to women's ownership of land to empower their participation in socio-economic development. Goal 6 speaks to water and sanitation. How to ensure that everyone has access to clean water and sanitation. And in Nigeria, 48 million of us still engage in open defecation, and only 90% of this goal has been funded. So this presents an opportunity for town planners to design urban spaces that will promote optimize water infrastructure, incorporate rainwater harvesting, also prioritize accessible sanitation facilities, and consider the needs of the community when developing new neighborhoods. In addition, town planning must design efficient water distribution and piping networks that will reach all areas of the city, including marginalized communities. Town planning must also look into how we can recycle water by designing systems to reuse treated wastewater for non-potable uses like irrigation, etc. Goal 7 speaks to affordable and clean energy. And in 2022, only 60% of us in Nigeria have access to electricity. Not necessarily for 24 hours, but at least we do have access to electricity supply. So the supply of electricity is uneven in the country, and rural areas have lowest access. And so this is an opportunity for town planners to integrate renewable energy sources like solar energy into urban design, facilitating infrastructure improvement and efficient energy distribution. Town planning must also encourage practices like natural lighting to make cost-effective power available for communities. Goal 8 is about decent work and economic growth. And according to the National Bureau of Statistics, in the first quarter of 2024, 84% of Nigerians working class were self-employed, and 92% of the employed population work in the informal sector, including working in jobs that are not regulated by formal labor laws, and of course that lack social protection. So within this context, town planners must design spaces to facilitate access to employment opportunities, spaces that will encourage business development and provide inclusive development and access to facilities. Practices such as zoning areas for mixed-use development to facilitate proximity between residential areas and employment hubs. Urban planning practices that will reduce commuting time and the cost of moving from homes to workplaces by, for instance, locating industrial zones with necessary infrastructure like transportation, accommodation, and efficient logistics. Town planning must also improve the mobility of workers and design affordable housing options near employment centers. Goal 9 speaks to industry, innovation, and infrastructure. And today, the World Bank estimates that Nigeria will need to invest $3 trillion over the next 30 years for us to address our infrastructure gap. And so within this context, town planning must ensure that land use must design urban spaces to include green spaces, industrial zones, innovation clusters, smart city technologies, green infrastructure, pedestrian-friendly zones, and integrated transportation networks that will then help to facilitate economic growth and also foster collaboration between businesses and research institutions. The SDG Goal 10, it's about reduced inequalities. There is high income inequality in Nigeria, with the income of the top 1% of the population being 37 times higher than the income of the bottom 50% of our population. The Lagos State Special People's Law of 2021 protects the rights of people with disabilities in terms of access to health, education, workspaces, and communication. And so town planners have a role to play by designing cities and urban spaces to ensure equitable access to basic services like housing, transportation, healthcare, and education, particularly marginalized communities. And town planners must look for how to integrate informal settlement into the urban fabric. Goal 11, it's sustainable cities and communities. And this is a goal that is directly related to town planning. Town planners must actively manage land use, prioritizing efficient public transportation systems, incorporating green spaces, promoting energy-efficient building practices, and also developing climate-resilient infrastructure. You all have a role to play to design and implement building codes that promote energy efficiency, water conservation, waste management, and sustainable construction materials. Goal 12 is about responsible consumption and production. Today, Nigeria has the highest rate of deforestation in the world, according to the Food and Agricultural Organization, FAO. And between 2000 and 2005, the country lost about 55% of its primary forests. So that presents a challenge to town planning, and town planning must design urban spaces to encourage efficient use of our resources, including by having mixed-use development and energy-efficient building codes. We must prioritize walking path and also path for cycling. We must incorporate green infrastructure and promote the use of local materials, implement waste management system, and also educate communities about sustainable practices. Goal 13 is about climate action, and how we must combat climate change and its impacts. In 2022, Nigeria witnessed floods that affected 33 states. The flood displaced over 1.4 million people, killed 603 people, and injured over 2,400 of us. And so town planning must design urban spaces to manage floods, droughts, erosion, and extreme weather events. Through measures that manage floodplains, incorporating green infrastructure like parks and open spaces to enhance the quality of life and promote healthy living. We also must plan for sustainable transportation options like cycling and walking paths to mitigate environmental impact and reduce carbon footprint and operational costs. Goal 14 is life below water. And in Nigeria, we've been suffering from oil spills and plastic waste. Nigeria generates about 2.5 million tons of plastic waste annually. And Shell, the oil corporation, in 2021 reported 3,300 tons of crude oil spills in Nigeria caused by sabotage, which was more than double the volume in 2020. And so town planning must design urban spaces to promote efficient water resources, conserve coastal and marine areas, and also restore our marine ecosystems. Goal 15 is life on land. And the goal is to protect and restore life on land. Today, Nigeria is challenged by the north, erosion. We've lost many of our animal species, such as the West African lion, the Western gorilla, and many more, due to human. And so town planning must manage land use to ensure sustainable development, including protecting our natural ecosystems, promoting access to essential services like water and sanitation, and creating resilient communities against climate change. We also must integrate agriculture with urban areas and actively respect land tenure systems as we design our cities. Goal 16 is peace, justice, and strong institutions to drive an inclusive society. Security, terrorism, banditry, and social strife. Planners must design environments to provide infrastructure for all, including the marginalized communities, so that we can promote social cohesion and peaceful society. Goal 17 is partnership for the goals. Town planners have a role to play in partnering with other stakeholders for us to be able to achieve all the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. So the SDGs are a call to action to end poverty, to protect the planet, and to make cities and human settlements more inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. While some may argue that these goals are not directly related to town planning, the reality is that the 17 goals are integrated. They recognize that action in one goal will affect outcomes in others, and that development must balance social, economic, and environmental sustainability. Hence, the creativity, the knowledge, know-how, and involvement of town planners is necessary for us to achieve the 17 goals. Sadly, 10 years after the launch of the 17 SDG goals, and 6 years to its end in 2030, the world is far from realizing the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. The 2024 assessment by the UNDP, Economic Commission of Africa, and the African Development Bank reveals that only 6% of the 32 measurable targets reviewed for Africa are on track to be achieved by 2030. Nigeria is on track to achieve only one of the 231 unique indicators of the SDG. And so it's a wake-up call for all of us, including town planners, to be deliberate and intentional in our activities, to drive investment in infrastructure, water, energy, and agriculture, and to ensure that we're able to meet many of the goals of the SDG. So this is a challenge before us and before town planners. And I believe town planners can be an integral part of the solution. So how can town be part of the development goals? SDG 11 that speaks of sustainable cities and community is the one, like I said before, that is most specifically sustainable cities and town planning. Some of the relevant targets under SDG 11 include access to adequate, safe, and affordable planning and basic access to safe, accessible, and sustainable transportation systems, enhancing inclusive and sustainable urbanization, and capacity for sustainable human settlement, planning, and management. Strengthening efforts to protect and safeguard the world's cultural and natural heritage, reducing the adverse environmental impact of cities, and providing universal access to safe, inclusive, and accessible green and public spaces. Town planners have a crucial role to play in shaping the development of our cities and of our communities. Your responsibilities include land use planning, transportation planning, environmental protection, community development, economic development, business, trade zones, support services, infrastructure planning, urban renewal, policy development, and public engagement. So town planners are not just designers of physical spaces, they are also visionaries who can help us shape the future of our cities. And so you must continue to balance the intricate interplay of social, cultural, economic, environmental, and technological factors to create environments that are not only functional, but also harmonious and sustainable. You have a role to play in ensuring that urban development supports the needs of today and is sustainable and resilient for future generations. The decisions and actions you take today will have a lasting impact, shaping the way cities evolve, they grow and thrive. In essence, you are the real custodian of the future, the guardian of our galaxies, and your work is essential to planning more sustainable cities for all, where human and economic development thrives in harmony with nature. As you do this, there are challenges before you that you are well conversant with. The challenges of population growth, of rural-urban migration, of affordable housing, infrastructure development, sustainable environment, transportation, economic inequality, the challenges of engaging with the public, of managing conflicting stakeholders' interests, the challenges of also managing regulatory and policy constraints, integration of technology, budget and resource constraints, and lastly, the challenge of corruption that can limit what you do. Of course, we also have security concerns and human resources, where we have a shortage of qualified urban planners and professionals with the necessary skills to address complex urban issues. But more importantly, how to get young job seekers to remain a part of the profession instead of migrating outside of the shores of the country or looking for what they call digital jobs or jobs of the future. Today, we live in a VUCA world, a world that is associated with volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. And in this VUCA world, town planners must continue to juggle these challenges to vibrant, inclusive, and sustainable communities. And so these challenges and VUCA require you to adapt quickly, to innovate, and to rethink how you plan and design the cities of tomorrow. Speak a bit about the global trends, some global trends that I feel are impacting town planning and that which you all need to be aware of and take pragmatic actions. The first is digitalization. Digitalization has led to what is now called a borderless world. A world where digital services and platforms dominate, enabling businesses to operate seamlessly across time, across borders, and also allowing individuals to operate and connect on a global scale. Digital platforms like Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Google in USA, and in China you talk about Alibaba, Baidu, TikTok, JD.com are facilitating access to global marketplace for digital services for billions of people. 2/5 of global commerce today is done by 4 companies in China. And today we've seen quite a number of delivery vehicles, delivery bikes and bicycles in our communities used to deliver goods ordered through e-commerce. So as nations and businesses leverage digital ecosystems, there is need for robust urban planning, variety of transportation schemes, zoning regulations, and other infrastructure that will allow of the digital world to be realized. Today, we are witnessing countries that are deliberately taking steps to welcome digital workers, as we have in Estonia and also in UAE, where you have what they call digital nomads and e-residency programs. And today we have more than 10 countries in the world that allows for digital nomads and e-residency programs. And these have implications for urban planning and job mobility. In Saudi Arabia, there's a new mega city being developed called NEOM. It's a $500 billion development and is looking to be advanced and futuristic in its field. It's a solar-powered city with a Hyperloop high-speed train and has a driving force to be run by intelligent technology with features such as flying taxis that will enable a 15-minute city concept where people can travel from one point to another in less than 20 minutes throughout the city. NEOM also includes a mirrored linear city called The Line, which is a cognitive city stretching across 170 kilometers with no roads, no cars, and no carbon emission, as it will run on 100% renewable energy and 95% of land will be preserved for nature. people's health and well-being will be prioritized over transportation and infrastructure in the line. The line will eventually accommodate 9 million people and will be built on a footprint of just 34 square kilometers. This will mean reduced infrastructure footprint, creating never-before-seen efficiencies in city functions. Residents will also have access to all daily essentials within a 5-minute walk. In addition to a high-speed rail with an end-to-end transit of 20 minutes. So that's the future before us, and it's coming live in Saudi Arabia. We are all aware of the concept of the Uber economy. That's ride sharing, which is an emerging freelance and gig work model where anyone and everyone can work multiple jobs and take up employment on part-time basis with everyone and everywhere. It's also an emerging economic model underpinned by technology that offers unparalleled flexibility, adaptability, and instant gratification without the huge cost and the burden of asset ownership. And that has implications for the way we plan our cities to allow for job mobility and human commutes. There's also the concept of the attention economy, which is one where companies like the social media giant like Facebook and co. treat user attention as a scarce resource, completing to capture and hold users' focus for as long as possible through engaging content. This will have implications for how we're able to attract young ones into the town planning profession and how we're able to also retain them. So while digitalization promises efficiency, improved services, it also poses significant challenges. For instance, how can town planners integrate smart technologies, Internet of Things, unmanned aerial vehicles, 3-dimensional printing into the teaching, learning, and practice of town planning? How can smart technologies be integrated into city planning despite aging infrastructure and also in rural communities so that digital services is available for all? Today we have financial exclusion. We should not promote digital exclusion in our rural areas. And so town planners have a role to play to ensure that digital services like food delivery and ride sharing are planned into our urban and rural areas. The second global trend is artificial intelligence, what is called AI. Some of my friends will call it African intelligence, but the real word is artificial intelligence. And AI technologies include things like machine learning, natural language processing, and computer vision, and they're dramatically changing the way we work, the way we learn, and the way we live today. AI stands as a cornerstone of innovation, powering solutions that enhance productivity and address complex global challenges. We're all familiar with ChatGPT, with Gemini, or Microsoft Copilot. And today, lecturers are complaining that students are using AI to game exams. The global market size for artificial intelligence is estimated to be above $240 billion in 2025, while in Nigeria, that market is estimated to be about $4.6 billion by 2030. AI is transforming at breakneck pace every industry, including urban planning. From AI agents assisting with planning simulations to the use of drones to map cities in real time, the possibilities are endless, and town planners must be trained to adopt AI into their daily operations to help you with productivity boost and also increase your output rates. And so you must think of how AI can propose solutions that will not only aid your efficiency, but that will also help in drawing rural areas and rural communities to adopt AI. The third trend is global information or information tsunami. Today, everybody have a cell phone. The cell phone has data and pictures, and they are all able to take videos and to report situations. And so this digital era has ushered in a time where information flows at an unprecedented speed and scale. And so that has implications for town planning, as citizens are now empowered to participate in urban governance and in urban planning, shifting from top-down approaches to more collaborative and responsive systems. Why this serve 10 minutes more. Why this has significant positive impact, it also has implications for the storage and access and to the validation of information that you use in town planning. Also, how you manage the spread of information and the spread of misinformation or exaggerated reports that can cause social panic or misdirect resources as you do your work. The fourth trend is what I call soft life. Life is getting easier with innovations, and therefore citizens are becoming more demanding. Breakthroughs in science, in medicine, and in vaccine development have led to higher life expectancy, and innovations in technology have led to increased connectivity. We all know how technology has transformed the way we communicate and the way we transport ourselves. In the past, transportation was by riding horses. Today, transportation is through Uber. You don't need your car. And tomorrow, transportation will be through flying taxis. That is happening today in different worlds. It's happening in Saudi Arabia. It's happening in US, in Europe, where driverless vehicles are moving people across. Communication, we used to communicate through letters. Today, we communicate through other means, aided by technology, messengers, etc. And so, if technology has transformed communication and transportation, it's clear that technology will also transform urban planning and town planning. And so we must look for how we can retrofit existing cities to incorporate these new technologies, such as drone delivery, flying taxis, charging stations for electric vehicles, and even in Nigeria today, charging stations for CNG gases, and lanes for autonomous cars. All this must reflect in the way we plan our urban cities. We must integrate smart grids and digital systems into our planning, and we must balance rapid urbanization with environmental preservation and sustainability. The fifth trend is geopolitics. We live in a fragmented and volatile world where global geopolitics affects everything. And today, we know about growing nationalism in Europe, President Trump and the Make America Great Again agenda, the expansion of BRICS, and all other movements that are redefining a multipolar world order. This multipolar world order has implications for economic stability and international power structure. For instance, trade war between US and China has reduced and delayed access to high-tech components and has affected smart city projects and thereby limiting urban planning. In Africa, we have regional initiatives such as the African Continental Free Trade Area that calls for harmonized infrastructure across borders to aid the free flow of goods, people, and services. This will require that town planners design integrated transportation networks, logistics hubs, and border towns that will facilitate cross-border trade and collaboration. Goal 6 is population growth and urbanization. The world population crossed 8 billion, with about 71 million people given birth to in 2024. And over 63% of that population is what you call the millennials and the generation Gen Z. Fertility rates are dropping globally, with many countries falling below the 2.1 birth per woman TFR rate. If you look at the Western world, the USA, the UK, Germany, Canada, they all have fertility rate well below the required 2.1 ratio, and that's why they're encouraging migration. So this trend challenges our pension systems, our healthcare system, caring for the whole, workforce dynamics, and urban planning. And this migration will affect economic growth of the home countries and have a ripple effect on transportation and town planning. Nigeria in 1960 had a population of 45 million people. Today we're a population of 230 million in less than 65 years. This has rapid implication. Also, life expectancy has increased from 36 years to 56 years. And those have implications for the way we manage and plan our urban cities. Africa has 3 mega cities, cities with population above 10 million. That's Cairo, Johannesburg, and Lagos. And by estimate, Africa will have 5 new mega cities by 2050. Nairobi, Khartoum, Kinshasa, Luanda, and Dar es Salaam in Tanzania. And big cities, mega cities have implications for urban planning, for infrastructure, housing, healthcare, and land usage. The seventh trend is climate change. Climate change is our existential crisis, and 2024 is now the year with the recorded hottest year on record, where population was above the 1.54 degrees Celsius, above the pre-industrial level. Global warming will aggravate extreme weather, rainfall patterns, and frequent droughts, which will affect crop yields and lead to food shortages. Floods, desertification, erosion, and changing weather patterns are affecting agriculture, and that's one of the reasons why we have high food inflation in Nigeria. And so urban planning must factor in urban migration, weather patterns, and need for sustainable energy transitions and agriculture in urban locations. The eighth trend is generational shift, where we are seeing the advent of millennials and the Gen Zs, and they are reshaping the way we work and the way we socialize. Gen Zs and millennials are now the largest generational group in the global workforce. They've replaced baby boomers and Gen X as the drivers of our economic activities. These millennials and Gen Zs are delaying marriages, they are delaying home ownership, they are also delaying having children due to economic challenges like student debts, high housing costs, and job instability. They are less likely to spend a long-time career in a single organization or even in a single profession. And so that has implications for town planners and for town planning. And so town planners must focus on actively understanding the behaviors, the needs, and the consumption patterns and the preferences and millennials, so that we can provide them appropriate services, but also so that we can also attract them into the profession. To attract into the town planning, prioritize sustainability. We must foster community and prioritize walkability and public spaces, offer diverse housing options, and actively encourage young people in the design such that you are to attract and retain the young generations in the town planning profession. So, looking at those 17 SDG goals and the 8 global trends, the imperatives for town planning is clear. First, continuous learning. To learn and stay updated on global trends and emerging technologies. You must engage in smart education and learning. So the imperatives for town planners, first is continuous learning. You must continue to stay updated on global trends and emerging technologies. You must prioritize professional development in smart education and learning, and incorporate technology and AI-powered personalized learning platforms to foster creativity and problem-solving skills. The second imperative is collaboration across disciplines. You must work closely with other professionals in technology area, environmentalists, technologists, policymakers, sociologists, etc., in designing holistic urban solutions. The third imperative is policy advocacy. You must continue to engage to shape policies that will accommodate rapid technology and societal changes. Number 4 is citizen-centric approaches. You must foster transparency and inclusivity by involving communities in the planning process. And you can leverage technology platforms to engage with citizens and communities. 5 is resilience planning. You must plan for resilient infrastructure and resilient cities that can withstand environmental challenges. Number 6 is data-driven decision making. You must leverage big data, artificial intelligence, and predictive analytics in your urban planning and decision making to anticipate trends, but also to optimize allocation and resource usage. Number 7 is you must embrace smart city innovations. So innovate technology, Internet of Things, automation, and smart tech into urban and regional planning services. Number 8, you must focus on equity and inclusion. Address disparities in access to housing, access to health, transportation, and essential services by prioritizing projects that uplift marginalized communities, women, and the young one in urban development. Number 9 is adaptation to climate change. Urban planning must prioritize green infrastructure, public transit, walking, cycling, renewable energy sources, recycling, or what is called a circular economy, and nature-based solutions to combat climate change, mitigate urban heat, lower emissions, and improve air quality. And lastly, the 10th imperative is future-forward thinking. Town planners must embrace and not resist change. You must monitor and anticipate technology and societal shifts, such as the rise of remote work, the rise of technology, autonomous vehicles, driverless vehicles, and you must plan adaptable infrastructure that can accommodate evolving urban dynamics. You must prioritize mental health, wellness centers, and recreational facilities to support overall well-being, and also must plant environment that promotes flexible office spaces and co-working hubs. In conclusion, we find ourselves at a crossroad where global forces are reshaping cities faster than ever. I know and I'm glad that most of these challenges and imperatives have already been adopted by town planners in Nigeria and across the globe to position themselves as leaders in shaping cities and communities that are not only functional, sustainable, but also resilient to the rapid changes of the 21st century, and thereby enabling inclusivity and shared prosperity for all. The 8 global trends: digitalization, AI, climate change, population, generational shifts, information tsunami, global geopolitics, and innovation-induced soft life, present unprecedented challenges, but also remarkable opportunities for innovation. As town planners, you have the privilege and responsibility to understand these global trends, to anticipate these changes, and envision cities that are not only resilient, but also fit for purpose. Town planners must act as visionaries and problem solvers, navigating this labyrinth of challenges to create inclusive, sustainable, prosperous, and future-proof urban environments where individuals prosper, businesses flourish, communities thrive, and nature is preserved. You must resolve to embrace these 8 goals, these 8 global trends, with the 7 C's, with curiosity, with courage, with creativity, confidence, competence, commitment, and in collaboration with others. Working together with stakeholders, you can transform the challenges of today into the triumphs of tomorrow by building cities that stand as legacies for generations to come. Like the African proverb, to go fast, you walk alone. To go far, you walk with others. Together, we can drive the agenda for shared prosperity and create communities and cities where no one is left behind. Thank you.
You know, for an academia to say this is loaded, and you can see an ICT person talking about planning issues. Of course, little wonder architect Jola Osho called him a town planner. A round of applause for the guest lecturer, please. Thank you so much. Thank you for honoring him. Thank you so much. Before responses or feedbacks or questions, may I announce that there is going to be group photograph after this program. So please, we want to plead with you that you please take time to wait till the end of the program. Thank you so much. And so we want to recognize the presence of the APBN Ogun State chapter team, ably led by the chairman, Mr. Alhaji Ebun Atinuke. You are welcome, sir. Other members of the team are Builder Diron Eyinfun Jowo, second vice chairman, and pharmacist Adeshino, the PRO. You are welcome. We also want to welcome town planner Mrs. Beatrice Babatunde, fellow of the institute, into our midst. We as well have town planner Babatunde Okuboyejo in our midst. You are welcome, sir. And also the general manager, Ogun State Housing Corporation, town planner, estate valuer, Wale Ojo. You are welcome into our midst.
We have all heard it. The global infrastructure, housing architecture call for adoption of AI by town planners and all professionals involved in built environment for us to move faster as the global world is moving. At the moment, we want to welcome questions, just 5 questions and 3 responses if need be. Please, if you have any questions, please raise up your hands for the guest lecturer. Questions? Comments? If we had all listened to that lecture, there should be call and responses. Okay, do we have hands? Please step forward, please. If you are raising up your hands, please step forward for your question. I'm very brief, please. Let's step forward. Do we have anybody there?
Questions, responses, feedback, comments? Wow. Yes, comment, sir. Okay.
Thank you so much. Let me first of all appreciate the lecturer. Of course, a well-researched, topic for that matter. Not from a town planner this time, but of course, if it is possible, I will call you a town planner. Let me also recognize people on the high table. I said a very big good afternoon to everyone, and good afternoon, sirs. Once again, my name is Michael Akinwale Ojo. My question is straightforward. while you were delivering the paper, sir, you, towards the conclusion, you mentioned the fact that the Gen Zs, they don't have that patience enough to stay, on a job or anywhere for that long period of time. And, my recent experience, we want to corroborate that. I have a son of about 21 years who was asking me recently, and I said, you have been moving from job to job. I was asking him. And he responded that, Dad, are you telling me you have been driving to the same gate for 30-something years of your life? So, to me, that posed a big challenge to me. And you also said that that also has implication for the future of town planning. Honestly, it goes beyond the future of town planning. The entire economy is going to be at risk. And it's a risk factor that we are not talking about. I don't know what you have to say that will help us or prepare us as planners, as far as our own industry is concerned. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Yes. Is there any response?
Thank you. I don't know the answer. I must be frank. I don't know the answer. But yes, we are in a world where the Gen Zs don't have the patience to stay in one job for long. And they also do multiple jobs. So I guess the challenge is for us to be deliberate about how we engage them and how we contribute to jobs. So you measure jobs now not by number of hours, but by the productivity and the output. And so it's not important that somebody must be at work, but it should be important that that person delivers the output that is required over a certain period of time. And I think if we do that, and second, if we involve them in the administration process so that they are part of the decision making, it's bottom up and not top down. Hopefully we can have a better chance at mitigating the risk, but I really don't have the answer.
Thank you, sir. Any further responses or comments? Please step forward, sir.
That's Town Planner Razak Elegbede.
Thank you very much, sir. I say big congratulations to my father, Alhaji Waheed Kadiri, for this 11th edition of the lecture series. And I greet all my elders here, past presidents. Well, my question is more of a poser that I see this as an opportunity for me to trade poser to us as town planners. It's something that I've been thinking about, that I've observed, especially in Lagos. And I felt that this is a good opportunity for me to bring to the fore. Now, I don't know if other planners have observed that when we plan our cities of late, we no longer incorporate alleyways and footpaths in them. And I don't know why. Is it that we don't understand the importance of having alleyways and footpaths in our city designs anymore? You know, footpaths, they promote walkability and they enhance safety and so many other things. Why is it that we are losing footpaths and alleyways in our neighborhood designs? I just felt that this is an opportunity since I have my seniors and colleagues in planning here. It's a poser for me, so that's what I just want us to think about. Perhaps anyone can answer me with this question. Anybody? Thank you very much.
Mention whom you want the person to answer.
No, it's a poser for everyone of it. That's why it's called a poser. For something for us to take back and think about.
It's all right.
Thank you very much.
Please, response to his question. He's asking why footpath is being delimited in our planning. Please. Who wants to respond to that question, please? Sir, may I bring the phone? Why the footpath is being removed from planning system at the recent footpath?
my own brief understanding is talking from a planner's point of view. But you can see that so many activities are competing with even passage of way, the traditional norm of even allowing street trading, the traditional way of people assuming that the setback can be used for anything. It's affecting the matter you are talking about. But the approach is that planners should stop being rigid in standard, being sitting down
Decorum,
to determine
please.
what is
Please,
happening.
let's listen. We are
stop,
here to learn.
We should stop being armchair planners to determine what the people need. But to get to where you are going, we should be talking of those who are really advocating for such use. At a stage in Lagos, the then governor said we should provide a kind of defense for a walkway whereby you put chain that people should not even cross there. But the advocacy aspect of that issue is that we should take it upon ourselves that this is what we expect in the implementation of our plan. And secondly, some of our plans don't come with urban design elements. The urban design elements will not just give you the right of way, but will give you the concept of what an average road design should be. And so, when we are designing, don't think that it is our what I would call the conceptual design is the end of the road. But further to also break it down and also give the details of what you expect. And then don't also wait until somebody abuse that plan. We should be part of those who will be advocating for the preservation of what we want. That's my own personal approach in responding.
Thank you so much, sir. As we are moving towards the tail end of the program, a saying says, whoever keeps learning not only remain young, but becomes consistently more valuable and relevant regardless of physical stature. As it has been mentioned by the celebrant of today, is always there when it comes to town planning profession. Ladies and gentlemen, join me as I welcome the celebrant of today for his remarks, town planner Waheed Kadiri, fellow of this institute.
Thank you so much. There's a gap in what we've been told about the guest lecturer. I will come to that. We were not told that he was president of NASFAT for 4 years. Can we please appreciate him? I will stand by the protocol earlier established. Let me say the greatest surprise I've got today is the presence of the multiple council chair, Lion Anuayao. When he came in, I was just looking at him and said, can it be? Because I never can recall inviting him personally. I'm very grateful. Thank you so much. Having said that, all praises to Almighty Allah for giving us the benefit of being here today, hale and hearty. we beseech him to give us more of such benefits. When we approached the guest lecturer, he reminded us of the month of Ramadan, a month of not only obligatory fasting, but also a month during which Muslims want to maximize everything from Allah. So he said, it's either we push it to April because of his involvement in pre-Ramadan, Ramadan. Everybody knows what we do, we Muslims. It's like it's the only month that God is there for us. You know, we want to do everything during that month. And he picked today's date to avoid the pressure of Ramadan without him knowing that it is also my birthday anniversary date. He just said 19th or 20th. And I said, why not 19th? So, alhamdulillah, we thank God for giving us the opportunity to kill two stupid birds with one stone. You've had the lecture, and there are also the cakes to be cut. We thank everyone for being here. This is the 11th in the series that started as a students' association's effort to show appreciation to one of their lecturers in 2010. When they started, I just thought, maybe let's give them the chance to try out what it means to run a project. Leadership role, kind of. And I gave the support. And along the line, the leadership changed, and apathy came into the organization of the lecture series. When we thought it had stabilized, this is when the Ogun State chapter, NITP, under the chairmanship of Tamplanaro Shekbe, took up the organization of the lecture series. And I craved their indulgence at a point to let the lecture be in February, the month of my birth, so that it will resonate more with me as a person than as a professional. That's why we started having the lecture in February. I'm very grateful to the state chapter for taking up the challenge of the annual organization of the series since 2019. There have been no disruption since then. I'm indebted to all 10 past guest lecturers, but Professor Taylor, can you please stand up for recognition? Professor Taylor is one of the earlier guest lecturers. Thank you so much. I'm indebted to all our 10 past guest lecturers, but more so to 2 of them who are deceased. I thank Allah for knowing Professor Olukotun, who gave the second lecture in 2012, and Professor Layosho, my great, dependable, and trustworthy friend, who was our 7th lecturer in 2021. May Allah forgive their shortcomings. Coming back to today, this is a day of double joy. I said earlier, it is also my birthday. I'm grateful to everyone here, sharing the joy of the day with us. To the guest lecturer, a quiet achiever, a very humble, God-centered person. I'm not saying he's religious, but I know he's God-centered. He lives his life as dictated by Allah, and that it does in everyone. I appreciate how you cleared your diary to accommodate this event. Engineer H.O.B. Lawal, the way you accepted to be the special guest of honor was very humbling. When I approached you, said, what does it take? You said, when, where, and time. Those are just the 3 questions. It's not about, do you think I'm fit, and finding excuses. Thank you so much. I'm very grateful. I'm highly grateful, Architect Dr. Jolasho. We are grateful for accepting to be our guest of honor. You would have liked to be here, but there are some prices you pay for leadership. When you are in certain positions, you lose control of yourself. Not even your time, yourself. You plan to be here, but you have to be in Abuja. He said he will try and come back yesterday. You know, because when you go to such places, until you resolve the issues you've gone to resolve, you cannot just leave. Please send him our appreciation. We thank you for holding forth for him. To my colleagues who are here from within and outside Ogun State, I thank you so much for the sacrifices to be here. To those loving individuals offering needed service, that's these lions, I am indebted to your annual pilgrimage. Somebody used that term earlier in the day, but I've got it written down here. And the greatest pilgrim to this lecture series, Benga Besson, are you still here? Benga Besson, he has never missed any of the 11 lectures. Benga, I'm very grateful. I'm indebted. It shows that we made friends as we serve together. When you hear of lions, it's not only about serving others, because in serving others, you also serve yourself. And that's what most people don't appreciate about service clubs. When you serve others, you serve yourself. How will I have met Engineer Chobilawa if not for Lionism? Here is a past president of the Nigerian Institution of Civil Engineers. Lion was a managing director of a bank. How will I have met if not for Lions? So I want to encourage more of you to please join Lions. I don't have good voice to sing. I would have said, come and join us. Lionism is for me and you. Please join us. My appreciation to my family for the support in the home front. The children have been very supportive in my daily life. And to my wife, Alaja Fatima Kadri, I thank you for being a great mother to our children and their children, and a good and supportive wife. Once again, I thank you all for making today as momentous as it has been. As we go back to our different homes, I pray Allah to give us journey mercy. I want to thank you, but that's one thing I found difficult to do in English. You see that you say I'm grateful or thank you. Is that adequate? But I say Yorubama, I will say Eshe Bodupe, Eshe Po. I'm still thanking you. When I say Eshe, I do alone. But no, we thank you so much for being here. And we pray to Almighty Allah that the one for next year will also be part of. Let me also show appreciation for one thing. Exactly 2 months ago, December 19, like one of the speakers here said, or I think the representative of the rector said it, we were at a book launch that was done in my honor by the School of Environmental Studies of Moshood Abiola Polytechnic. And 70% by his own data, he's a statistician. By his data, 70% of those of you who are here today were there in December. And if you look at the rigors of traveling in this country, I don't think anybody wants to do Lagos, Abeokuta, Ibadan, Abeokuta twice in 2 months. So I appreciate you. And please, where you think I'll be useful to you, please don't hesitate to call me. Untoku ni pe ka ma serve. Mi ò san rent mọ́. Mi ò lọ́mọ tó ń lọ school. But one thing I'm grateful for is good health that Allah had bestowed on me. Thank you. My multiple council chair, I appreciate you. My past international director, I appreciate you. My president, or my president in disguise, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You have very much appreciated. to all of us, we say thank you. And we pray that by February next year, last year we used the small hall in Waheed Kadiri house. Here we are. Maybe next year we'll be in, which is the biggest hotel in Abeokuta. But if you have put up the space and you are not here, it will be nothing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. We can do better, please. The guest of honor, Engineer HOB, Lawal, said he has a response to what Baba had said now.
Thank you very much. In my early address, I did mention that Town Planner Waheed Kadiri is our Mr. Credibility and Integrity. In the Lions Club, we hold him in very high esteem. He has risen to become a district governor and is currently a member of the Board of Trustees of MD4 for Nigeria. Is also the chairman of the project committee of the Lions Eye Hospital in Abuja. In appreciation of his efforts and cooperation in all that we have been doing and will continue to do, I want to pledge a sum of 250,000 naira in his honor to the Institute. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Tọ́mọ ẹni bá da àfikà sọ, ẹ jẹ́ ká pàtẹ́wọ́ fún wọn lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Right away, we want to call the celebrants and the beautiful wife and the children for the cutting of cake. While I call on, please step up the cake up here. Okay, sir. I'll call on Professor Sherif Teller to order the cutting of cake. Let's put our hands together for him as he comes forward. Proud to the children. Okay, oh yeah. Please, let's hold on. There's going to be room for group photograph. Oh yes, sir.
That you will be my son.
Well, this is a 2-in-1. 11th White Career Lecture Series, and then 74th birthday. So I'm going to call twice. I'm going to start with 11 and end up with 74. So when I say 74, then that's when the cake will be cut. 11, 70, 71, 72, 73, and 74. The celebrant with the high table.
Please.
The celebrant with members of the high table, please.